Opened the wrong thing.
You found yourself yet?
No. Oh yeah. Yep. There I am. Excellent. Hi, whoever it is that's just joined. Thanks for joining. Today is the start of the sort of 3 times weekly lives. And normally for a live, I do quite a lot of preparation. I know it might not look that way, but you know, I generally spend the whole day up until the 6 o'clock when I go live preparing stuff so you don't have to watch me cutting and inking and whatever. I just can't do that every other day. I'd get nothing else done apart from preparing stuff and doing the lives. So I think from now on, really, they're going to take a more sort of craft along with me type experience. It's a craft along with me experience. So you'll see all the nitty gritty, all the bits of paper that I cut to the wrong size, everything. You'll just have to bear with me through all the inking and swearing and everything else that goes into making a junk journal. So I hope that's okay with you guys. It's just, it would just take over my life otherwise. So hi Shaz, hi Paula. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to show you today. We'll come on to the actual junk journaly bits in a minute. I just wanted to show you this, which I think is the find of the century. It's the country diary of an Edwardian lady, as you can see, but it's actually two, I can't get them out, I don't think now. There we are. 2 CD-ROMs in the days when, you know, you got things on CD-ROMs. And it's just, they are 2 discs ram-packed with Edith Holden images. And the copyright states that I can use them, you know, print them out and use them. I just can't sell the files or copy the discs, which is fair enough. I don't want to do that anyway. So that is, you know, that's one of Justin's best finds ever in a charity shop. So I've had a look at them. There's so many images, and I've printed some out. I printed some onto coffee stained copy paper, and this is what they look like on the coffee stained paper. And I also printed some out just onto straight white card. See what they look like. And they're bright, they're very bright. They're a bit too bright for me, really. But you get to see the sort of images that they are. I mean, they're just beautiful, fantastic. Look at that. That's not in the book. This isn't in the book, so it's an additional image. You can see that I haven't been too careful about printing them. Some are off the edge and what have you, but they're beautiful. And I think that because they're too white, but I like them sort of better than those, which are a little bit dull. Some of them, that's a bit dull. What I'm actually going to do is, let's just get a piece of kitchen towel and I'll show you what I'm going to do. If you can possibly, please can you like my page if you want to. If you like Miss Paintalot, then you'll get notified when I go live. It's pretty simple, really. It's every other day at 2 o'clock. Thanks, Paula, for sharing the love. Yeah, it's such a good find. What a find. So I'm just going to show you what I would do with this if I wanted to use it, and I will eventually. So with my new squidgy doodah. I'm just going to pick up some of the Tim Holtz Distress ink. Actually, it's Distress Oxide, but well, it's not, unless you add water, there's not really any difference to them. But as I say, it's just a bit too bright for my liking. Wouldn't really fit in my journals. So yeah, if you can share, that would be great. And really, I would be so happy if you lot could subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be the best thing you could do for me if you could do that. You'll find me surprisingly under Miss Paintalot. So there you can see the difference that's made. That's knocked it right back into something that I would happily use in my journal. I mean, you know, that's just quickly, you can spend more time inking it up nicely. But that's, you know, it's too bright, and that's really acceptable for my journals anyway. So that's what I think I'll do. I'll print them out on white and just knock them back a bit. But, you know, what a find. Can't believe it. It's just untrue. Just so lovely. And of course you can resize them if you want to. I mean, look at that foxglove. You know, they are PDFs, but put them in Photoshop and change them into JPEGs, and then you can resize and do whatever you want to do with them. So I thought I'd share that with you. These papers are going to come in really useful for the next bit of our lap book. But we need to get finished what we're doing at the moment. I'll give that to you for the time being. Thanks very much. So what we are doing at the moment is, this is the one that I showed you that is finished. This is what we're making. Hi, Rini from the Netherlands. I hope you're well and keeping well. Thanks for putting that link up there, Paula. So this is the finished one. You've watched me do it throughout. The only thing that we haven't done in the one that we're doing at the moment is this little journal place in the middle, and I think it really adds to it. There are journaling spots and journaling cards and whatever throughout this, but I think that having this, so as you can actually take it out of the lapbook, hello, you know, if you're on a day trip or a week's holiday or a weekend away or whatever it is, you can take this with you and you can journal in it, bring it back, put it back in the lapbook, and then you've got a record of what happened without having to carry around a big lapbook. Okay. Oh, hi from Slovenia. Goodness, we're getting around the world today. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I do appreciate it. I really do. Because it would be a bit dull, wouldn't it, really, sitting here talking to myself. So that's the one that's finished. This is the one that we were working on. Oh, I don't know if you've watched. Yeah, I think you have watched me work on this. And this is the one for our MacBook. For those of you who are... Lapbook, come on, girl. For those of you that haven't watched me before and new to the page, I'm just going to show you what it is we're doing. It's this. It's a book that folds out and then folds out again on both sides. So we've got an extended book, if you like. These are the front covers of another book. This here in the central section is one book, and I have attached the other book with, this is leather, but you know, you could do it with anything sturdy, fabric I would have thought. And so far where we've got to is we've put this section on the end, which our element that we're making today is going to fit onto. And then moving along, we've got this, which opens up. And in the centre, we've got these journaling cards. And there are 4 of them, all beautiful Edith Holden images, which are out of the book. And I've put some words on where pertinent. So there's plenty of journaling there. Now for this, this whole section of the lap book, I really must refer to Lorna Taylor from Tailor Made Journals, because this is very similar to her first section of the book. We'll move on to other things that you know, are our own, but this section here is very much similar to Lorna's. So that's what we're up to, and in case you're interested, it's called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I don't think I'm going to put anything over this spine. I quite like the idea that that could be sitting in your, you know, on your bookcase and amongst other books, and people would just look and think, oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They don't actually know the secrets within. So that's what we're really kind of up to. That's what we're doing. This is the start of the Edith Holden one that's going to go in that book, and I've got pretty much one page done. I've got the cards that go in there. That needs some ink on it. It looks like it's split. I had all sorts of problems with this. I couldn't work out which way was up. Honestly, I couldn't work out which way I was up, I think. I'll just ink that. I might put some glue on it later and sort it out. So that's where we're up to with that one. Right, okay, let's go on there. So this is the other one that I was working on. They're all pretty much identical, just different images and what have you. So since you saw it, I've covered the flappy bit, both sides with this lovely paper, and it's all finished inside. So let's just have a look through it, see where we are. So we've got these ties here that go into these eyelets. This here is a little journaling card, and when you pull it out, the acetate's printed on, so it's still pretty even with the journaling card out. I think the lights were just on it there, and that just lives in there, and you can journal on it and pop it back in, and it still looks pretty. So that's that. On the back, I've got a little envelope. Inside there are 3 little tags that just open up like a fan, like that, and they've just got a brad holding them together. They're not journaling cards, they're just pretty, and they live in that little envelope in there. And then we've got this. Oh, thanks, Charles. Then we've got this, which is a big journaling card here with a pocket at the bottom, and it's got this. This paper actually was very, very white. Beautiful. I love the blue tits on it, but it was too white, so I've knocked it back, same as I showed you what I was doing with the Edith Holden ones I'd printed out on white. Just take some ink and just go over it and knock it back a little bit, and that fits into that pocket there. And then we've got a pocket here, and in there's more of this paper here. It's beautiful. We've got 2 journaling cards, so space there to write on, and then this bit at the bottom with the other eyelet in, which you just attach that round, wrap it round, and then you've got that's that side finished. This is pretty similar. This isn't a journaling card. It's got pretty on both sides, and I like that. And then this, I've just got the lights on there. It's the same idea. It's a journaling card, but as you move it out, you can see it's acetate, printed on acetate. So that just lives in there. Same idea. This folds out, and you've got journaling space up here, and that's the birds again at the back. So that all folds over like so, and then just ties shut. Now then, the next thing that this needs, 2 things. It needs a button on here so as we can wrap around and close it, and it also needs the little journal that we've got in this one. Otherwise it's not really it doesn't really have a lot of journaling space. So this one, I did the pages at, so I didn't want them to be getting in the way of this fold. So I cut them at 8 inches and then folded them in half, so it's 4. But actually, I'd like them to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to cut them at 9. So let's get on with that. Stop the talking and get on with it. So I'm just going to use ordinary coffee dyed copy paper. This is 80-gram copy paper that has been coffee stained. Come on. Yeah, I know you like the acetate. I've saved the one in the Edith Holden one that we're doing to show you exactly how I've done that, Shaz. So make sure that your pages are nice and equal, flat and all the same. You can do these one by one if you want, but I think we'll be all right like this. And I'm going to cut them off at 9 inches, which will give me 4.5 when they're folded over. So I think that's about right there. These quilting rulers, actually, they're fantastic. I mean, I had them because I used to quilt, but they're really good for this, as is this rotary cutter. So that's that. Let me just caught a little bit there. So that's waste for this, for the purposes of this, but not, don't throw it out. It's too good to throw out. Right, so it's fairly straightforward. What I would recommend you do is to ink round all of these. I don't know if I've got the heart to make you actually watch me ink round all of those, but you know, maybe we'll do a couple because they need doing. They've got to be done. So either sit here on my own and ink, or I sit here with you. I won't do them all because it's kind of, you're not learning much, are you really? So I'm hoping that you're going to get behind both Paula and myself for these lives that we're doing. We're trying to entertain you. We're trying to take your mind off the fact that horrible times are out there. They really are. And, you know, everybody be careful. Stay safe. So I'm on, when am I on? It says at the top of the page. Thursday? No, not Thursday. I'm on Saturday, Monday and Wednesday. That's it. Saturday, Monday and Wednesday, all at 2 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. And Paula's on, not on those days. I can't quite remember, I'm sorry. This is getting on my nerves now, and mind yours. But all of this needs to be done. It all goes into making a journal. Are any of you that are watching journalers? It would be nice to have some junk journalers on. What I did with the other one when I got it into the, I'll just do one side. Has that one been done? No. I'll just do this. The other side does need doing, but so what I find that was those CD-ROMs full of Edith Holden images that I can use, that I can print out and use. I can't believe it. Right, so that's one side of all of these done. Obviously the other side needs doing too, because it's just going to be daft otherwise. So let's just measure which way the 9 is. That's the 9, and we use the full width of the A4, which is 8 1/4 ish. So I need to fold these in half. I think that's about half. Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes if you're using quite a lot of pages, this is just on the verge of it actually. They don't stack, they don't nest in really straight. I mean, even that one, you can see that they're just peeking out. So in fact, what I'm going to do, because that would annoy me otherwise, is I'm just going to take my edge and go down there and just straighten these out, because they're going to be very, very annoying to me otherwise. Let's put the lid on the ink. That's asking a lot of my rotary cutter. Come on. No, it doesn't want to put through there. Just cut it up level with the first page. I'm not surprised really, my scissors are struggling. Yep, okay, that's good. They're all lying flush now, which isn't going to annoy me, so that's good. Right, so now we need to attach these to that. So what you need is something kind of soft, and this bit of yoga mat that gets used for stamping and all sorts of things is your friend. Let's just mark on here where I want the holes. I want three holes, one at the top, one down there, and one centrally. So I'll get my ruler out. So I'm going to come in 1 inch and mark it in the centre. Mark it there. And then I'm going to come in 1 inch from the bottom and mark it there. And then I want one halfway. So that's 6 3/4. So that's, what's that? 3 3/8. Yeah, gosh, 3 3/8. So that's there. So you want it in the middle of this spine. You want it in the center. So let's just make those holes first. This is where it can go a bit wrong. And I need, this is a tool, I think it's called an awl. It's just like a screwdriver, it's got a pointy end. I think it's an awl. I refer to it generally as the pokey stick. You could do it with a thick needle, if you've got a thick needle. Anything that's going to go through there. And I've got it on this soft thing here, so it won't go through to my mat. And you want to do it from the outside in, because otherwise you'll get a hole pushed out and it won't look very nice. So just push till you're through the spine. There we are. Great. So I'll leave that there. I'll get this, see where the holes need to be on here. There, there, and there. And then you need to push those through as well. So making sure that you've got it tight, as tight as you can, so that the pages aren't slipping on you. Actually, it'd be better to do this from the inside. I'm going to fold that over like that. There, there, and there. Okay, so now let's just make these holes first. It makes life easier. So I'm folding this up like this, so I've got all my creases really tight in there. Get the pokey tool. And I'm puncturing it right on the crease. So make sure you've gone through. My pokey tool's a bit rusty, which doesn't really help. I'm not sure if it's rust actually, or spray paint or something, I don't know. Oh, it might have been a file in a previous life. Was this a file? Yeah. Anyway, it does the job. Does the job. So, somewhere over here I've got a needle. And this is what I was meaning about not being really, really organised. Because I don't... Wouldn't it be great to get through a live without going, where's my needle? Here it is. I knew which general vicinity it was in. So that's the needle, and I'm using this cotton perlé stuff because it's kind of indestructible. You can't snap it at all. Oh, that wasn't... Yeah. Okay, let's... I'm sure that most of us, and I don't know why we've got them, but most of us have got a bobbin of this, a reel of this somewhere in the house. I've got no idea why I purchased this originally, but my mother had one as well, and she certainly didn't do any handicrafts at all. So, I don't know, just one of those things that everybody has. So you want it more than, try it about 3 times the length of the spine. And let's hope this works. Thread the needle. Like I say, you're getting to see all the nitty gritty of things that work and things that don't work. And, you know, generally there are things that don't work. Anyway, let's go with this. So I'm going, my first move is in through the central hole and in through the central hole on the spine of the book. So hang on to the tail of your thread because you don't want it to disappear, because that's the sort of thing that normally happens to me. And then up through the top, out through the top hole. And you can kind of see when you're doing this where that hole is. So there. Then down right to the bottom, out through the paper, through the spine. Right, so let's just, we want to make sure we've got enough here that we can tie a bow with. So I think that's all right. And hang on to that so you can tighten it up. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then we come out at the centre hole. Lovely. Look at that. Right, so I've got one thread on one side of this long stitch and one thread on the other. I'm done with the needle now, so I'll put it back in its place. Yeah, because it has a place. Pull it quite tight, tie a knot. I'm going to make it a reef knot. And then it's up to you. You can leave these two hanging down and put beads on them, which is always quite nice. I like beads. Or you can just tie a bow and be done with it. For just now, I'm just going to tie a bow. Like that, and I'm just going to cut that end off. So there we are. That's how you put your little book in. There it is. It's sitting very nicely there. And what I did with the other one was I put some stencils and that sort of stuff. Stencils and that kind of thing. So I don't know whether to put stencils on or to put stamps on this one. I put stencils on. I like stencils. So I'll just get my stencil box. And have a look and see what we've got. I've got butterflies. I've got... It's like a little book of treasures. Yeah, it is. It's really nice. I've got that, which I do like. I really like that one. It's pretty. The others are all sort of more kind of background, I would call them. You know, more geometric is probably the right thing to call them. That's quite nice. If that worked, that would be nice. I've got music. There's all sorts of things, but I think, oh, what's that on the bottom? That's nice. Right, okay, I have selected some that I like. I'll keep the butterflies out as well, why not? I'll put them back into my file of stencils. I mean, come on. Even I don't recognise myself. Who is this woman? Why has she got a box full of stencils? So what I did with the other one, and I'm going to use one of our scraps of paper now just to test something. I haven't used this stencil with just an ink, this one it is that I like, with just the ink before. So I'm just going to give it a try and see if it works. Because it's a bit thicker, this. I'm not sure that it will work. Oh, yes it will. So there we are. I mean, that works a charm. Absolute charm. So I'm definitely using that one. Right. So you see, it's a good job that you keep scraps because, you know, you need them. You need them. Right, so let's go for this one, shall we, on the front page? It's really nice. And I'm going to run it off the page as well, actually. So I'm just going to use a bit of our scrap for there because I don't want it coming down through onto other stuff. I like things when they're running off the edge. Actually, oh, should I use my... Oh, I've got ink on here now. So that's that. It's just something. It's just something on the page. Could do with a bit of card actually for behind here. Because this is a bit lumpy. It's a bit lumpy. Oh, what to use really? Could I use that? Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. I'm still going to put this behind it because I really don't want ink all over my ruler. So let's use the thing that looks like a booby. I'm sorry if that's rude, but it does. So hold it down, put your ink on. So there's no reason that anybody can't journal over this. It's not so dark, but it does set it off. I hope you agree. So what should we use this time? Oh, I'll use this one. I haven't used it before. This is kind of swirly whirly. I quite like it. Just so you know, guys, I will be selling these two little booklets when I'm finished, which will be later today. They will be £10 each. I can't really post outside the UK without charging extra postage, but within the UK they will be £10 each. So if you want them, speak now. I think they're nice things, nice little things to have. I'll put that there. It just adds something, doesn't it? It's just like somebody's trying harder to make it nice rather than just doing the bare basics, I think. The edge of that paper isn't exactly straight. So if you buy them, you'll get them exactly as you see them. There are little mistakes in them as we've gone along. I pointed them out, but they're very pretty and nice to have. Let's put some butterflies over here, these little ones. Swirly whirly. It's all this kind of stuff that takes the time, and yet you look through the journal and you kind of don't notice it. But it looks better for having it, I think. So it's worth it in time for me to do it. I just haven't, the rotary cutter hasn't caught the edges of these papers very well. That's because I was just telling you how good it was. Let's use this one. I'm just going to put them all along the bottom. Let's move that one up to there, shall we? Give it a bit more importance. Yeah, nice. I'm going to put that one on the back as well. I really like that one. So, who's got what to say? Yeah, Charles the acetate. Hi Caroline, thanks for joining. You're getting to see kind of warts and all journaling today. Not the kind of, well, I know it doesn't look like it's pristine, what I normally bring you, but it's, you know, it's a cleaned up version because I'm generally all prepared and stuff, whereas these lives that are coming up now, just to entertain you while we're all socially distancing and whatever we're doing, they're going to have to be just the warts and all ones. So you will see plenty of mistakes, I'm sure of that, because I just do make mistakes. Everybody does, I think. Oh, this goes creeping right up here. There we are, that's nice. So we're past the middle, folks. We're past the middle. We're going all right. I'll put this up here. I do like this foam thing. Applicator, that's the word. More so than the square than this. Seems more sort of pliable and get more pressure on it. Go this one again. I'll fold it over that way just for a change. Spring must be coming because we haven't lit our fire until about 12 o'clock this last couple of days, which is great because we get through so much coal, it's just ridiculous. You could blinking run the Flying Scotsman on what we get through. So it makes, you know, instead of lighting it at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whatever, it's going on at 12 o'clock, which is brilliant. Saves money, and you know what you can buy with the money that you save? Craft supplies. I mean, what's more important than craft supplies? When I was in a craft shop, actually part of the garden centre that I go to the other day, I was listening to some ladies talking, and they were saying that one of them was saying she was very worried about her job, and she went on to explain that she was worried about her job because craft shops aren't essential. I beg your pardon. Surely Mr. Johnson realises that craft shops are the most essential. Well, maybe he doesn't. However, I'll put some butterflies up here. I don't think it's had many butterflies this side. I'll just put a little few. See, I couldn't do this with the square brush. I couldn't do that sort of. I think this makes it look prettier. What do you think, guys? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Or do you do it in your journal? Oh, last page. Put some flowers on it. You can use obviously any stencils that you want. I just decided that this has got a lot of flowers in it, and sort of naturey ones would look nicest. You might prefer geometric ones. So this is the last page. And there's only one more thing to do. Right, so there we are. That's the, let me just pop my stencils away in my stencil box. Those of you that know me will be going, what, who are you? Because I like the idea of them being neat and tidy. Right, so that's that. We've sorted that out. The only thing that I haven't done, needs doing, is to go and ink around some of the pages. But that's fine. So the only other thing really that needs doing is it needs a button on it, so as we can wrap it up like the other one. So I have marked, I have marked where I want the button to go, and I've got my mum's button tin out, and I selected this one, which I've left on top. Honestly, looking through these buttons from my mother's button tin is like, that was a coat that my mum had, I remember that. There's so many memories in here. It's strange looking at them all. But I'm glad that I've got it, and I'm glad I'm using them. So, you may remember that before I stuck these on, which I know you didn't see, but I cut a disc with my cutter out of cardboard, and I put it on the back where the button's going to be, just to add a bit of added strength. So let me just check that this needle's going to go through here, because if not, I think it will. Yeah, easy peasy. So I've marked that there. That's where the button's going to go there. And I'll just show you how to do that. So just cut a length of the same stuff, that cotton perlé stuff. I'm just going to mark here where I want the button to go, where the holes are, should I say, for the button. About there, I'd say. I'm just going to mark with my needle and hope I can see that. Only just about, yeah, okay. Oh, I'm wondering if I'm going to have to get the all out. All or nothing. Let's just try and see if I can get my needle through there. I don't really want to use my awl because I'm going to make holes that are too big. Let me see these. Seeing these marks is not easy, folks. Yeah, there they are. That's one. Let's try that one. See if I can get that needle through. Yeah, there we go. And the other one is there. Be careful doing this, folks. Phew. I know everybody who normally watches me knows this, but for those of you who don't normally watch me, this mat, which I use for stamping, generally that was its main purpose. As you can see, it's got lots of stamps on it. But it's really handy for loads of things, and stamping mats are really expensive. So this was one of those big yoga mats from a charity shop, which we've just cut up, and it does the job admirably. So what you need to do next then is come from, no, you don't. You put your button on, you go through the buttonhole, through one of the holes that you've just made. Blimey, that's tight. Yikes, go on, go on, go on. Anybody used to watch Father Death? Go on, go on, go on. And back up the other hole that you can see. Oh, that's so tight. And into the other hole of the button. You know, I don't have to teach you. I know I don't have to teach you how to sew a button on. But that's kind of that. You don't really need any more. So I'll take my needle off. And then what I want to show you is that the string I'm going to tie round it is this twine. Craft corner twine. And it's thick. It's like thick string. So work out how much. Well, you don't need to really. Let's just cut a little bit off there. Be easier. And I want to put that under there before I tie the knot. Just so I don't, it's not too flat to the cardboard. So I've got that in there. I'm going to tie my button. Make sure that that's all around. Tie it down, tie another knot in it. There we are. You can remove that now. It's all that's done is just provide us with a bit of, so this isn't dead tight now. It's got a bit of play in it. I'm just going to give that another knot, because we're going to cut the threads off quite close to the knot. If you're worried about it at all, glue it. Just stick a little bit of glue in it, it'll be fine. And cut your ends off. Doesn't matter if you can see your ends, it kind of adds to the whole homemade, handmade should I say, vibe. And then you get your thread, your string, you pass that under where you've just had the other stuff, tie a knot in it so it's secure. Everybody's sticking with it. And another knot. What improves it, Shaz? Oh, the stenciling. Yeah, I like the stenciling. So that's got a good firm knot in that. And then you just have to bring your string round, back round all the way, and then it easily ties round there. This can get cut off when I'm confident enough that everything's okay. So that's it. There you go. Cut that off. Tie a knot in the end so it doesn't fray, because this is quite fray stuff. That's sufficient. Cut it off. And yeah, I'm quite sure that this is all right now. So we'll cut that off as well. Actually, I'm just going to put a knot in it before I cut it off. It's starting to fray already. It's it's one of those things that likes to fray. So there we are. Right, that should be now our completed journal. So it should unwrap nicely, goes around there, opens up. I might actually just take a little bit of this card or where is that card? Here it is. And just stick a circle on over there, just for the sake of completeness. So I'm just going to cut a circle out. With my little punch, and glue that on, because that doesn't look very pretty really, the two holes there, when we've spent so much time invested in this. So let's pop that on there. Probably needs a little bit of pressure, to be fair, because it's got that ridge on the other side where the button is. So I'll just stick a couple of pegs on it in a minute, but that's fine. Yeah, that looks much better, doesn't it? You know, you don't really notice it. So there's all our stenciled pages. They're pretty, beyond pretty, I think. I think they're gorgeous. And our little journal, you've seen everything else that goes in. I'm pleased that I made it that length, the 4.5, because you get quite a lot more journaling for your bang for your buck. And it's still not interfering in this spine here. So that all folds in. Doo-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. Just wrap around that. So there we are. There we have it. Where's the other one? I do not know. I've lost it. Here we are. So yeah, you see I did all the stenciling in there too. And that's finished too. So there you go, guys. Two really, really lovely little, I guess you could call them traveller's notebooks. That's that sort of size in the journaling world, of which I'm rapidly becoming a member. They call this sort of size a traveller's notebook, because I guess that you can travel with it. It's a thing you put in your bag, your purse, whatever, and off you go. Hi, Paula. I thought you were gone. I thought you were going. Well, I'm going anyway in a minute. So that, ladies and gents, is that. As I say, I'm selling each of these for £10. Only £10, but it will do something to recoup some of the supplies that I've used in them. If you want one, send me a message. That would be great. And then the only thing that's outstanding on the table at the moment is the one the same as this for our lap book. After that, after we've done that journal, which I think I might as well just go ahead and make, actually, because you've watched me make these, you know what the story is. So the next thing, which is really exciting, it's mega exciting. No, it really is exciting. Is we get 4 pieces of paper, card, actually this is card, and you stick your back bit on there first, which can be anything that suits you really. So you stick that on, and then you get 4 pieces of this, and what happens is you stick them like that and then like that, so they concertina out, so you can pull them out and then fold them back up. So that's what's coming up next, and then we have to decorate them all. How exciting. So I hope you're as excited as I am about the next what's coming up, and I'll see you on Monday. See you on Monday. Well, it looks like a booby, I mean, doesn't it? Is it just me? Anyway. I will see you on Monday, 2 o'clock. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock is Paula over on Fairy Chic Emporium page. Apart from Tuesdays, where neither of us is doing a live, but apart from Tuesdays, you will find us at 2 o'clock, either me here on Miss Paintalot or Paula on Fairy Chic Emporium. We will be doing day about, apart from Tuesday when we're actually going to have a day off. So thanks so much for joining me. I've enjoyed this one. It's been good. You've seen how things go together and what have you. And I'll look forward to seeing you on Monday. Bye, guys.